Hello, we are Primordial and this is our level editor. So first, our level editor consists of multiple panels. So I'll show you the panels one by one. First, we have our game object panel. So our game object panel will show us all our entities that we have in the current scene. So as you can see, we can double click in order to find the entity. We can double click to find the entity, and then we can as well add and delete objects here. We can add objects by using the create button. So we can click here and we can create a new entity. There we've created a new entity. We can also delete it over here. We can also make a prefab of the entity, which will be stored in our prefab in the content browser. We can as well as add Shao. So maybe add Shao is either using this function here, or we can just simply drag it there to add it as Shao. To unparent, we have unparent button over here. We can as well duplicate it like that. So now we have duplicated the entity. Okay. Next, we have our scene panels. So our game is made of multiple scenes. So we have multiple scenes. So scene panels allow us to go to different scenes and load them. We can also delete different scenes as well as create new scenes. Next, we have our app logger panel. So our app log panel allows us to print all the data that we want here. It basically allows us to print in release mode. After that, we have our debug panel. Debug panel allows us to enable debug mode, which allows us to see all the different kinds of collision boxes, as well as here's draw pathfinding grid for pathfinding, quad tree for quad tree, as well as read and write local. We have our FPS counter here, as well as rendering info. Next, we have our instrumental panel. Instrumental panel allows us to keep track of how long each update or each loop or each process is taking. After that, we have our content browser. Our content browser allows us to access our assets while in the editor. So we have our animation, audio, data, which is our CSV, fonts, palettes, which for our grid palette, prefabs, projectiles, scenes, scripts, shaders, and textures. Next, we have our texture panel. Our texture panel uses textures from here. We can click and drag them in like so. And then we can also, if they are spreadsheets, segment them into individual sprites. After that, we have our grid panel, which allows us to edit and use tile maps. Next, we have our animation. So animation, we grab an animation from our animations, click and drag it in like this. And then now we are able to edit the frames by dragging in textures, as well as renaming the clip name, certain number of frames per second, and also play pause, as well as check each clip frame. We can set whether it's looping, and we can save the clip changes here. Okay, that's all I have for our editor. Thank you very much.